Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, also known as Borat 2, which will be available to stream October 23rd, 2020, courtesy of Amazon Prime. So of course this is gearing up to be at least one of the most infamous films of the year, mostly thanks to one particularly stunning scene featuring Rudy Giuliani. Otherwise, it's Sacha Baron Cohen, who's making a sequel to his 2006 mockumentary Borat. Larry Charles is out as director with Jason Woliner making technically his feature film debut. There's 13 screenwriters, which is kind of alarming, and it more or less feels a bit like that, a little bit choppy. It's not as streamlined. Of course, this was filmed in secret and was interrupted by the coronavirus epidemic, which is incorporated into the film. We find that Borat has been slaving away in a gulag in Kazakhstan for embarrassing his country 14 years ago. He is released from his term of hard labor. His government wants him to curry favor with the Trump administration by traveling back to the US and gifting the Minister of Culture, which is a monkey named Johnny. He takes the trip. Once he unpacks Johnny's crate, he finds that his 15-year-old daughter, the feral Tutar, played by Maria Bakalova, who is actually kind of the shining star of the film, has eaten the monkey. So he can't go back, otherwise he'll be tortured and killed, so he has to offer Tutar as compensation to Mike Pence. So then we go down a rabbit hole where Tutar has a makeover. She gets a dress. She gets prepped for plastic surgery, an augmented breast, which doesn't actually end up happening, and goes to a debutante ball. All of those things with the usual antics you can predict. And these moments eventually feel kind of like a sketch that runs out of steam way too early. Of course, he does crash, or it looks as if he might have crashed a CPAC event with Mike Pence there, although the editing makes that kind of questionable. And in fact, if you are a fan of, back in 2006 when this seemed more novel, I think we might have questioned less what Sacha Baron Cohen was getting away with, but you might find yourself being kind of distracted about what's real, what's scripted, what he happened to get away with. So of course the scene everybody's talking about really is when Tutar, who has discovered some agency in herself and wishes to be a journalist, and somehow finagles an interview with Rudy Giuliani, starts flirting with him, and ends up taking place in a hotel suite, and they move to a back bedroom, and she says she's going to remove his mic. He lays back and unzips his pants and reaches in his pants, also while asking for her phone number, when he hears a disturbance from Borat in the other room and sits upright, and the moment passes. And of course Giuliani's been doing damage control since that filmed, and clearly it's very clear what's happening there, and microphones aren't placed in interviewees' pants. So that's really the reason to visit the film, because the rest of it just feels kind of like fluff, and there are some funny bits, really because of Bakalova, but otherwise he's making a mockery of a certain population in the United States, and this is a film that will be preaching to the choir, and also presuming that there's a choir left to preach to. Overall, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. He does get away, he does do a lot of daring things. It's just, it feels like a little too late, and it often has the opposite effect of being funny and actually just really being depressing.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.